a tremendous honor for me to be here. High school coach's son, played junior college ball, played for Coach Hudd in D2, and have been coaching D2 ball for 14 years, my whole career. Coach Hudd gave me an opportunity to do what I've always wanted to do, and that's coach Division I football at the big time. I obviously know this is my chance, and I wake up every day on fire to prove that he made a great decision and to not let him down. We got some great kids here. They've done a phenomenal job recruiting. They've done a phenomenal job building this program up to this point with the facilities, with the previous bowl wins and the bowl games. We're at a point where we want to take another step. I realize that and understand that. I knew those expectations when Coach Hudd called me to talk to me. And I'm fired up to be here to try to add to that and to try to help us take that next step. And with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Coach, what does Jordan possess as a quarterback that you feel like he can really run your offense and take it to the next level here?
Well, you know, one thing he's done since I've gotten here is he's really taken ownership of his past, all the good that came with that as well as the bad. It's well documented, the bad that he's gone through. He's not had the career to this point that he wanted to have or that a lot of people wanted to have for him. And for whatever reason, that happened to him. Some of that's his fault, some of it's circumstances. But I'm getting him on the good side of that. He's made it through that. We had a tremendous off season. I think sometimes, or I think all the time, God has a plan. He's got his hand in things. And I think for some reason I feel like I was meant to coach him and he was meant to play for me. And it's been a great fit. Now we got to go out there and make some plays, you know, together. But he's done a phenomenal job leading the right way. I think all great leaders do first and then talk later. And what we talked about when I first got here was, man, be great in the weight room every day. That's all you can control right now. Then be great in the off-season program with the running and condition. That's all you can control right now. Then spring ball will start. Be great in spring ball. And then we'll look up at the end of May, and you'll have put together a great weight program. You'll have put together a great off-season program, and you'll put together a great spring ball, and all of a sudden you'll have the clout and the respect from your teammates to do a little talking at that point and leading vocally too. And he waited his time. He proved it, and I think he's got a lot of respect from his teammates right now. He's playing well, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
Coach, can you talk about the running back position, the competition there? How soon you'd like to see something develop there?
Well, you know, we lost a great one. That's well documented. Everybody talks about that, but we've recruited well here. I mean, Jordan Wright was a phenomenal player in high school, had a great program at Pearl, Mississippi. Trey Regis was a great high school player. Ray Calais was a great high school player. We brought in Eli Mitchell. Darius Hoggins is a really talented guy that's made a lot of plays in his career here. So we've got a lot of young guys that are just waiting on their opportunity. And you know, Eli McGuire was an unproven football player at one point in his career too, and he got his opportunity and ran with it. I think these guys are ready to show they can play football. I've got to put them in position, and we as a staff have got to put them in position to do what they do well. You know, I think that's one thing about offensive football is let's figure out what our guys can do well, and let's put them in positions to do those things and not ask them to do things they can't do. I think that's one key to it. You want me to go first? Go ahead. Offensive line, yeah, we're looking good so far. Mitch Rodriguez is a top-of-the-line offensive line coach. Everybody in this profession knows that. He's been doing it a long time, had a lot of success. We've recruited well there. I think Grant Horse is an unbelievable leader and, you know, just a phenomenal student-athlete for this whole athletics department, not just football. And I've got a lot of respect for him as a person, and he's leading great. And I think we're going to be able to block people pretty well up front.
Back to Jordan, you're his third OC now.
Yeah.
What did you do to kind of quickly develop that relationship? Because it's not always easy.
Yeah.
To have that many.
Well, I think that is tough going through that for Jordan, but I think when you come out of it on the backside of it, I think it makes you such a better player. You know, I know as a player, you know, I played for my dad, then I went to junior college, then I went to Murray State, then I transferred into UNA and played for Coach Hudd, so I was able to play for 4 coaches and see 4 ways of doing things, and I think he's kind of seen that too. And I think I'm getting him on the good side of it, where he's been through a lot of tough times. He didn't do what a lot of people do nowadays. You know, a lot of kids nowadays, when tough times hit, they just quit. You know, they just quit and go do something else. Nobody fights through adversity anymore. It's just the way the world is. But he fought through it, and usually right after our toughest times is when our greatest accomplishments happen. And I'm excited to get to coach him. How we hit it off, I don't know that. That would be something you'd have to ask him. I just try to coach him hard every day, try to coach him the right way, what I feel like is the right way, and put him in position to be successful. But he's done a phenomenal job.
What were you about getting the job? Did you reach out to Hud, or did he reach out to you?
Oh man, me and Coach Hud talk all the time. We had a really good player-coach relationship. We've always stayed in touch. I don't know the answer to that, and I'm being honest. I can't remember. I'm glad it happened though, So I'm glad to be here, fired up to be here.
What were you told about Jordan coming in?
Well, a lot of different things. Some good, some not good. But the thing about me is I'm not a judge. I don't judge. I just take things for what they are. No offensive player on the team when I got here, I didn't care what any of them had done in their past, whether it was good or bad. I wanted to start a clean slate. I thought that was important. I thought it was important to establish a new identity. Me and Coach Hud talked about that on the interview. I thought it was important to come in and to let them know we were going to do things different. The expectations were going to change a little bit, and we were going to walk with our chest poked out, expecting to do good. And he's just done well. He's fit right into what we do. All of them have.
We've got time for 2 more.
How much fun are you having with all the weapons?
Huh?
How much fun are you having with all the different weapons you got?
Well, that makes it a lot easier on me. We're trying to make sure we're utilizing every kid we've got to the full ability. And that's, I said that earlier, that's one thing I believe in. I believe you figure out what your players can do, and then you put them in position to do that. I don't feel like you ever say, hey, this is our offense. We're going to do this no matter what. I think you've got to have a big enough toolbox to encompass whatever the job needs. If you need to build a fence, you got to have a post hole digger, but if you're not building a fence, you may not need one. And so I think our offense is a big enough toolbox to use the weapons we got to do. And we're working hard. We're nowhere near a finished product. We're 3 days into this fall, but I feel really good about where we're at and where we're headed.
Coach, ideally, how would you like to use the tight end position, given you've got some guys with different skill sets and sizes?
Yeah, well, I think Raynard Ford brings something to the table from a standpoint that he's extremely physical and he has soft hands. We got a guy in Matt Barnes that has proven to be a really good player in the past when he was healthy. Matt's coming off injury again. He brings a lot of versatility. And then we got 2 young guys coming in, in Chase Rogers. It was obviously a very highly recruited kid. It brings a lot to the table. And Andre Landry's also going to be a really good player. So we will play tight ends. We will play more than one tight end. I think they're a tremendous mismatch for a defense as far as figuring out what personnel grouping you're in and how you're going to line up. We will line them up more than just on the ball. They will be everywhere to try to make the defense figure out where they're at, but also where our wide receivers are at. I think you can use your tight ends a lot to mask those guys. How much we'll use them and all that, is going to depend a lot on them and the plays. Again, I'm a lot better coach when we get the ball to guys that can make plays with it in their hands. So that'll kind of be the guys that deserve to get the ball more will get the ball more.
Okay, step move.
And I know you said that your offense is, it's a toolbox.
Yeah.
When someone sees your offense from year, what's the one thing that you want to be consistent? What's the one thing that you want to always stick out?
I guess 2 things. We've always been really efficient at quarterback. We've always had really good quarterback play, and we've always been able to run the football. And I think that's important. I was raised in a household that believed that. I think the people that put rings on their finger at the end of the year at every level do those 2 things. So I think you've got to figure out a way to run the football, and I think you've got to figure out a way to be highly efficient at quarterback if you want to win and win big and win consistently. So I would hope that that's what people think when they think about our offense. Appreciate it so much, guys. Glad my voice held up.